So question, is it possible to smell poor? Yes, it is. It is possible to smell poor. It's possible to have an off-putting odor even if it's not BO. And one of the biggest culprits, the first I'm going to start with, is spicy, strong flavored food. If you eat lots of curry, onions, garlic, peppers, all that good stuff, you're probably going to stink. Or you'll have at least a very strong distinctive odor. I have a story for you. So I was at my job a few years ago, and I was on a new floor in a new department, walked to the new department, and I smelled a very distinctive smell. It wasn't a bad smell, but very distinctive. And I knew right away that there was a Nigerian person nearby. Because I had smelled that smell before, I knew it to be Nigerian food. Sure enough, there was a Nigerian girl at the desk, and I could smell that particular odor. Again, wasn't a bad odor, but it's very distinctive. So you can have a very distinctive odor. Now, did it smell bad to me? No. Will it smell bad to other people? Absolutely. So, spicy, strong flavored food, and in that case, it was the food that she had been eating because I had smelled that food before. Food attaches to your hair, to your clothes, it comes out of your pores. So you may want to consider adopting a blander diet. Like, your food doesn't literally have to be bland, but maybe tone down the spices and some of the things that you're eating, especially the garlic and onion, especially for your breath. And generally, literally, those smells can come through your pores. So you just maybe want to tone down those foods. The second thing is, and it kind of falls in line with the odor of your home and what you're cooking, make sure you're airing out your home. Make sure you are spraying down your clothes with Febreze. Like, you don't want cooking odors to linger in your home. Make sure you're opening your windows, you're turning on the vent, that kind of thing. Your home really shouldn't be smelling like food all the time. That's not a good thing. Because eventually it attaches to your hair, your clothes, everything, and you don't want that. Make sure you're dry cleaning any coats or things that require, especially coats, because you may not have clothes that require dry cleaning, but you want to make sure you get your coats cleaned, like your coats and jackets cleaned on a regular basis. You really, because they pick up all kinds of odors, and you just really want to make sure those items are clean. So very important, dry clean your clothes, especially coats, jackets. Make sure your hygiene is up to par. This is really important. Make sure you're bathing regularly, at least, even if you live in a cold climate, at least twice a day. Pay special attention to your underarms and your groin area. Very, very important. Make sure you're getting, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view, make sure you're getting in between the folds of your vulva. Don't just, spray some water on it. You really want to take a washcloth and, be gentle, but really get in between the folds of your genitalia. And not everyone was taught this, so I'm just bringing it up on this channel. Because there is, it is possible, if you've ever smelled a woman who you could tell she kind of smells like vaginal odor, it's because she probably didn't clean properly, and now she has that very distinctive odor, and it's a very distinctive odor. Same thing for your, around your anal area. Make sure that's super clean. Make sure you wipe properly after defecating. If you're having an especially there's really no other way to say this. If you're having a very difficult bowel movement, afterwards you may just want to consider just hopping in the shower and maybe, rather than just using toilet paper, actually just hop in the shower really quick and wash that area, because some of you, you're wiping and you're not getting everything. I'm just going to put it like that. So, consider doing that at times, just hopping in the shower really quick. Make sure you are wearing deodorant or antiperspirant that really works for you. That's really important. That's all part of hygiene as well. You may have to experiment with different antiperspirants, different deodorants. You may have to buy one that's a little bit pricier. I would invest in it. It's not something that you're going to be buying all the time. Even, a smaller container or, whatever of deodorant, that's going to last a while. That's at minimum going to last for a few months. So it's not something you buy all the time, so just invest in it. When you're using, so this is part of hygiene too. Washing your hair regularly is really important. I know that there's this thing with some women feel like they could just wash their hair once a month because, like their hair is, like really dry, gets like really dry easily, so they don't wash it too often. Okay, your hair may not look dirty, but it will still have an odor, and it's a very distinctive oily odor, and you really don't want to be walking around with that odor. So I know we're afraid that our hair is going to dry out, but you're better off just finding a really good conditioner and washing your hair more often, because you may not smell your hair, but other people smell your hair. A lot of times it does look dirty, and or it at least, even if it looks okay, like there is a distinctive odor coming off of it. So you really want to make sure that you're washing your hair, like at minimum once every other week. Once a week would be even better, but I would not recommend going a month without washing your hair. For those of you who wear weaves and wigs, especially the weaves that you can't, at least the wig you can pull off every day if you need to. A weave, you're really not washing your hair properly, and you're not getting to your scalp. So a lot of you are walking around with hair that smells, and you don't know it smells under the weave. But other people can smell it. So another thing is hair products. Be really careful with the products that you're using. A lot of products are marketed to certain groups that have like these like very gourmand ingredients like cocoa butter, vanilla, and nuts and all that. But I'm not a big fan of gourmands when it comes to fragrance and when it comes to products, because hair products and lotions, they really do, like, they smell really great in the container when you first put them on, but they really kind of do smell like, they don't smell that great after a while. They smell like almost kind of spoiled, and like kind of, they just don't smell very good. So like sometimes, once the scent kind of airs out for a while, like it dries off and it almost smells like too sweet, or it almost smells kind of like, sometimes it mixes with the BO and it smells weird. I don't know. I would stay away from gourmands when it comes to like hair products and perfumes. Stick with fresher scents. Stick with stuff that reads like fresh on it, or anything that has something like to do with the sea or sea salt. Some floral fragrances, like actually floral would be better, or citrus. But the gourmands, the vanillas, the cocoa butter, the chocolate, all that kind of stuff, I would stay away from that. They really do stink after they dry off. They don't really smell so great, and it's a very distinctive smell, and it really, it smells kind of after a while. So again, I would stick with like fresh scents, sea scents, salt, floral, citrus, and floral that's not too sweet. You don't want anything too sweet either. Let's see. Washing liquid, detergents. Super important. Do not buy cheap detergent. I can smell cheap detergent from a mile away. It has a really distinctive smell. It really smells awful, to be honest. Stick with, the Tide, the Persil if you're in Europe. I think there's Persil, I don't know how you pronounce it. Even Arm & Hammer is okay. What else? Actually, if you can go, an unscented detergent would be even better, but I know a lot of people like scented detergents. But don't go for any super cheap, like cheap detergent, because it really does have a distinctive smell. It stinks. What else? Try not to. Okay, so if you know you're going to wear perfume, maybe go for a lotion that's unscented because scents can clash. So, like, go for, maybe, yeah, just whatever unscented lotion and then put your perfume on top of that. But if you have a scented lotion that you like to use, maybe, maybe it's a floral scent. If you're going to put perfume on top of it, use one that pairs with it, like Bodycology, which is like an inexpensive brand that you'd find in like a Walmart or something. They have they have body sprays and lotions that are meant to be paired together. Like, that would be okay to use. But you don't want to use like a totally different brand and scent and put it on top of your scented lotion, because those smells can clash and a lot of times they don't smell that great. And, like, as far as the scented lotion, again, stick with something that's very fresh and bright. I would stay away from the warm scents with a lot of the spices and, like I said, the gourmands. Even stuff like cherry blossom I'm not too thrilled about. Just go for a very bright, fresh scent. Like I said, fresh scents, sea salt, anything to do with the sea, anything that has fresh on it, bright florals, bright citruses. So, like, Vaseline Intensive Care has, like, cocoa butter scent. I would stay away from cocoa butter, please. It really does not smell good. It smells good for 5 seconds, then after it dries off, it smells terrible. Stay away from cocoa butter, stay away from chocolate, away from vanilla, stay away from, like, anything really spicy. Pumpkin spice is okay. I think Bodycology has a pumpkin spice out right now. That smells okay. But generally, stay away from all the warms and all the gourmands. So, you follow those instructions, just watch the food, make sure your home is aired out, air out your clothes, make sure everything's aired out. Your home should not smell like food all the time. Get your stuff dry cleaned if it needs to be dry cleaned. Make sure you're up on your hygiene. Make sure you are washing your hair on a regular basis. You may need to take out that weave because your hair is not getting washed. Your hair and scalp aren't getting washed properly. You may not be able to smell it, or you may think your hair doesn't need to be washed too often, it'll get dry. Trust me, other people smell you. Wash your hair products. Try to go for hair products that have a neutral smell, or just don't have a strong scent. Perfume, make sure your perfumes aren't clashing. Make sure they're bright, fresh fragrances, nothing too warm, nothing too gourmand. And you should be good to go. So that is my recommendation on how not to smell. To smell a little bit more, if you want to say sophisticated, or, that's fine. But you don't want to, smell, you don't want to smell bad or smell like you didn't take any time to, like, prepare yourself for the day, if you get my meaning. So that's it.